This season, a new hot deal has arrived at Metro. $25 a line for 4 lines with all the data you need and 4 free Samsung Galaxy A15 5G phones. Getting Metro's best deals is easy. No ID required, no activation fees. Get a new number or keep your own. It's up to you. That's 4 lines for $25 a line, plus 4 free phones. Visit a store or go online today. Only at Metro by T-Mobile.
When you join Metro Plus Tax. For a limited time and subject to change. Max 1 offer per account.
All right, let's talk about feeling our best without the hassle. You know those wellness trends that sound great but are impossible to stick with? Like taking apple cider vinegar shots. Yeah, no thanks. That's why I love Goli Nutrition. They make wellness simple, delicious, and effective with their chewable gummies packed with powerful ingredients. Apple cider vinegar has been used for centuries as a traditional remedy for digestion and gut health. And Goli's apple cider vinegar gummies make it easy to add to your routine. And when life gets stressful, the ashwagandha gummies help me stay cool, calm, and collected. No wonder they're Goli's #1 bestseller. Plus, all Goli gummies are vegan, gluten-free, and made with high-quality ingredients you can trust. Join millions of happy customers and see why Goli is the #1 most sold item in U.S. retail across all vitamins, minerals, and supplements. Goli is changing the wellness game. Head to Goli.com now and get America's #1 ashwagandha and apple cider vinegar gummies at an exclusive 42% off. Give them a try risk-free, backed by our money-back guarantee. Don't wait. Visit Goli.com today.
Hi, I'm Kristen Bell. Carvana makes car buying easy. Isn't that right, hun? Dax? Dax?
Sorry, did you know about this 7-day money-back guarantee?
A week to evaluate seat comfiness, you say?
A week of terrain tests? Yeah, I can test the brake pad resistance at variable speeds.
Make sure all the kids' stuff fits nicely.
Make sure our stuff fits nicely.
Oh,
Right. Still need to buy the car. Getting ahead of ourselves here.
Buy your car with Carvana today.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have a right to an attorney prior to and during any question. If you can't afford one, the court will appoint one for you. Do you understand your rights?
When the wolf is at your door, you're running over, that's for sure. He already knows all about you. Cut you down, no matter by you. Now you better walk the line.
Warning, this episode of Real Life, Real Crime, the podcast, may contain descriptions of acts of violence or that of a sexual nature and should be for people that are 18 years or older. Heed my warning, people. I do not get the facts of these cases off of the internet or from some television show. The facts I'm retelling you were presented to me by the victims of the crimes or the perpetrators who committed the crimes against the victims. My descriptions of the crime scenes, what I saw with my own 2 eyes. If you're going to get offended, please turn this podcast off now. Thank you.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Real Life, Real Crime, the podcast. And I am Cindy Overton. And I just wanted to thank everybody for their love and support at this time. I know that when Woody gets a chance to read everybody's comments and their well wishes and just love and support, he will just feel all of the love. He's really not doing social media right now at all, but I know he feels the love, and thank y'all so much for that. And I am doing the intro today for today's episode, which is different than the episode that I teased about in yesterday's podcast. I was putting it all together last night, and I decided that sometimes laughter is the best medicine. So I decided to switch up the original episode to the one that we are going to play, and you will get a good laugh out of it. I know a lot of you have heard it already, but we have some newbies that maybe have not, and I think everybody will enjoy it. I can imagine some of you have certain Woodyisms going through your head right now, remembering the episode. I just hope, again, like I said, that y'all enjoy it. So in yesterday's episode, I also read 3 stories, and 2 of them were true and 1 was a lie. And I promised that today I would let you know which one was the lie. You were asked to go to the app and do the poll and answer which one you think the lie is in the app. So hopefully a lot of you have done that. Now I'm going to tell you which one the lie was. And the lie was story 2, the exploding birthday cake. So if you guessed that, you're a good lie detector. Before I play this episode, I would also like to remind everybody about the live event in July, on July 19th. You can get your tickets at bit.ly/RLRCVIP. That is for the VIP ticket. And then for the general admission ticket, you can go to bit.ly/RLRC General, GENERAL. We hope to see everybody there. It's going to be a fabulous experience, and we just can't wait to see everybody. Before I go, I have a add-in audio that just came to me, so we are going to add it to this episode. So this is a audio that Miss Barbara sent about the conversation that she had with the Cobb County District Attorney's Office. I shared it with Woody, and he said for me to go ahead and release it to y'all. I told you the other day that I was waiting for Woody to come back and share this wonderful news with you guys, but he doesn't want you to wait. He wants you to know that your voices are being heard and to not stop, as we keep saying. Make the calls, send the emails. If you've sent an email before, just copy and paste it and send it again, or, something along those lines. But the fight, like I've said, is just beginning. So we really, 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 really need to push now. We can't give up now. But hopefully after hearing this audio, you'll be reinvigorated and ready to fight even harder, because you will know that your voices are being heard. So thank you so much. Woody did ask me to say a few more things to you guys. One, he is, as I keep saying, very, very, very grateful for all of the love and prayers and well wishes and positivity and just love that y'all are sending him. It really has helped him during this very, very, very difficult time. And what happened briefly is he went last week with the intention of, after we recorded last week, he immediately went to go spend days and time with his daddy. And they fished together every Good Friday. His hope was to be able to get his daddy out of the house and take him fishing in the pond that is directly behind the house. And that is the day that something switched, and that was where the decline became much more drastic, which leads to now they've been planning the funeral for this coming Monday, which is the 28th. He passed on the 22nd, and the family is a huge family. And so Miss Sandra is giving everybody the opportunity to come into town. It is a private funeral, but he spent the last few years really focusing on time with his daddy as dementia began to overtake his brain, and Woody did so to get every last second that he could with his dad, and also to support his mom, who would, as the primary caretaker, need a break. So Woody was blessed to have some very, very good memories with his daddy. They would go on, little day road trips together up to Vines and Liberty, Mississippi. They would just drive around. They would go hang out at, headquarters, at Camp Ruth Lee. Mr. Lee would sometimes spend the night with him, and it would be such a positive time for Mr. Lee and for Woody and for Miss Sandra. And so they had, like I said, some really good daddy-son time. And, Mr. Lee came here a couple of times, and we would go to lunch. And then we actually were able to do Christmas here with Mr. Lee and Miss Sandra. And so we're all grateful for the precious time that we had. And now Woody is focused on getting his mom through this tremendous loss. They've known each other since they were very, very, very young kids. I'm not going to go into their love story, but it is an amazing story. I will just say that they actually met at my stepfather's childhood home. My stepfather is the same age or a year younger than Mr. Lee, and they were like in Boy Scouts together, and there was a Boy Scout dance at my stepfather's home, and that is where Mr. Lee and Miss Sandra met for the first time. But they went off and did their own thing, and I'm not going into too much detail, but then they later obviously met up again, and they were married for 58 years. Mr. Lee was Miss Sandra's whole life. And so Woody is doing everything that he can to turn his focus on supporting his mom during this time. I just wanted to give you an update on that. Woody is going to do a tribute episode to his dad soon. The man moved mountains. He was a force of nature. And anyway, I have so many words to say, but I just want y'all to know that Woody is thinking of you, and we are very blessed to have each and every one of you. And so I'm going to play Miss Barbara's recording first, and then the rest of the episode as I had it planned out.
Hi, everybody. It's Barbara, Haley and Stella's mom. I just wanted to give everybody an update on Haley's case. But first, I just wanted to say that I'm so sorry to Woody. I know that it's a hard time for him and the family, and we're with you. Our hearts are with you. That being said, I don't know how to do this without Woody. So, and if it's rambling, I'm sorry. You can ask questions in the comments if you don't understand anything. But I'm really not good at this at all. If you hear the dogs pacing back and forth, our little 17-year-old dog paces a lot. So I'm sorry for all that. But yesterday, I talked to the assistant, the DA's assistant. It took me a minute to get through because they kept, I guess, not wanting to put me through. And I don't know if it's because they've been getting calls or if they were just, But anyway, she finally put me through to her assistant. She's very nice. I've talked to her a couple times. So very, very nice. Very thorough. And she always takes, a lot of really good notes and makes sure she understands what I'm talking to her about. So, first off, she asked me if I got any emails or correspondence from if I knew Cindy Bard, which she was our victim's advocate, if you remember, and she did not ever advocate for Haley or for us, I felt. But anyway, she asked if I had gotten any emails or correspondence from her, and of course I had not. And she said, oh, and sounded surprised. She may or may not have been, but she said that she was supposed to coordinate some good dates and times for us for a meeting. So she said, well, I'll take down some. And so, I told her, when we would be available. She took down the times and the dates and told us that she would call us personally and try to correspond and get those times work, try to find a time that would work. She explained that we would be in a meeting with the DA, and she said that there would be a third person in the meeting, another ADA, and I'm not sure if that's going to be Stephanie Green. She did not know, but she did say that it would maybe be the ADA who she would sign to my inquiry. So I think that sounds good. I think that means that maybe they're assigning another assistant district attorney to Haley's case. I hope. I don't, but that's what it sounds like. And I'm trying to be positive. It's really hard with all that we've been through with them, but this is a new DA, and I'm putting faith in her that she will do the right thing. So anyway, she said that with a third person in the room, that everybody would be on the same page as about, how to better serve us going forward. And she kept saying with our inquiry, not our case, but I guess that's what. So she explained that the chief, and I asked if the chief investigator is still working on her case, and she said yes, and she said he is still working. She said whether it would be, reinvestigating her case, or that we would come into a meeting and explain what they are or why they are not doing something, which that sounded scary. So I hope that's not what this meeting is for, is to explain why they're not doing something. But again, I'm trying to have faith. So she said that they are coming in after another group has trialed this case, so that they'll have to have, time to figure out what to do going forward, and, get with the previous team and get their take on everything. And she said it's all about assessing how he's going to assign one or two other investigators to the case, possibly. So again, that part sounds good. So I'm trying to look at the positives and hopefully not the negatives. So, but anyway, it just a meeting with the DA is awesome. Knowing that the chief investigator is on the case is awesome. When she tentatively said that they would be, possibly assigning a new ADA and possibly assigning, new investigators, it all sounds really good, and I'm hoping, that that's what's going on. So anyway, after all that, we hung up, and then she did call me back and let me know that it would have to be the week of May 5th, because I guess the district attorney is going out of town next week, so she couldn't figure out a way to make it work with the times this week, so it will be the week of May 5th. And if I don't hear back from her, I haven't yet, but if I don't hear back from her, I will naturally keep calling and keep looking for the, what dates we can get in to see her. But I just want to thank everybody so much, and you have no idea how much we appreciate this, because I know for a fact this would not be happening if it hadn't been for you all calling and just taking Haley's case, to heart and getting to know her. And we are beyond grateful and thankful to you all, and thank you so much. And please don't stop, though. Please don't stop, because I feel like this is working, but I think that any let up in the pressure could cause them to think that they've, I don't know, that they don't need to keep going, and we don't want that. So Thank you all so much. Again, this is Barbara, Haley's mom, and Stella's mom, and Stella is at work, but she said to tell everybody hi and thank you, and so we appreciate it from the bottom of our hearts, and thank you.
This April, we're celebrating Earth Month, and it's the perfect time to think about the choices we make every day, especially the ones we don't always think about, like where we sleep. If there's one thing I've learned, it's the quality is sustainability. When you invest in something well made, it lasts longer. And that means less waste, fewer replacements, and a bigger impact on protecting our planet. That's why I love Avocado Green Mattress. Avocado makes certified organic mattresses, crafted with non-toxic materials in their very own zero-waste factory. They've already diverted 85% of their waste from landfills, and they're aiming for 90%. It's not just about comfort. It's about caring for the planet with every choice we make. And here's something I really love. Avocado is a proud member of the 1% for the planet. That means at least 1% of every dollar they earn goes straight to environmental nonprofits tackling climate change and protecting ecosystems. So when you choose Avocado, you're not just sleeping better, you're giving back. If you're thinking about upgrading your mattress, do it with purpose. Choose one that's better for you and better for the planet. Head to avocadomattress.com today and save up to 10% on certified organic mattresses. Dream of better for you and the planet. Women, have you ever had one of those days where everything just feels off? Like you're stuck in the middle of a mystery and you can't solve it? Your energy's crashing, your mood's swinging like a suspect in an interrogation room, and no matter what you do, nothing adds up. Well, Cindy has been there, and sometimes the real culprit is hiding in the shadows, is hormonal imbalance. Here's a twist. More than 1,000 hormone disruptors are living rent-free in our world, lurking in our food, our air, even our skincare. And when hormones go haywire, it can feel like you're trapped in your own personal true crime story, especially during premenopause or menopause. But here's the good news. This is the one case you can crack with Hormone Harmony by Happy Mammoth. All you need to do is take their free 2-minute quiz. You'll answer a few simple questions. Just like that, you'll get a personalized recommendation to help bring your hormones back into balance. No long investigation required. What I love is that Hormone Harmony is made with adaptogens, natural science-backed herbal extracts that help your body adapt to stress and hormonal changes, whether it's PMS, hot flashes, brain fog, or sleepless nights. This product is designed to help you feel like you again. Over 40,000 glowing reviews don't lie, and neither do the results. 86% of women say they started losing weight. 77% say their mood improved. And the biggest win, 100% say they feel like themselves again. For a limited time, you can get 15% off your entire first order at happymammoth.com. Just use the code RLRC at checkout. That's HAPPYMAMMOTH.com, code RLRC for 15% off today.
So y'all heard it straight from Miss Barbara's mouth. Isn't that amazing? You have moved mountains, lifers. Thank you so much. This is why I keep saying, keep doing what you're doing. It's working. Thank goodness. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. So with that, I hope that that puts a pep in your step today. I know that for us, it really gets me fired up to keep on going. And I hope it does the same for you. And I hope it helps Miss Barbara and Tyler and Stella have a little bit more positivity. They have got to, have a little bit of, I'm sure they're fearful because they've been led on so many times and they thought that things were happening that weren't. And they've seen so many mistakes made in the case, but this is a positive move forward. And so we are grateful. And now we're going to move on to the laughter, the funny episode that, like I said, sometimes laughter is the best medicine. And I hope this makes you laugh. Happy Friday. And we are so happy, Miss Barbara. Thank you, thank you, thank you for putting your faith and trust in our real life, real crime community. We promised you we wouldn't let you down. We're not going to let you down.
Without further ado, let's talk about Gloryhole. All right. So back in, I think it was 2004, maybe 2005. I don't remember which year. I was working as a detective for the Livingston Parish Sheriff's Office, and I got called in to Chief Kearney Foster's office, and anytime he called for me to come downstairs, I generally think, "Oh Lord, what did I do now?" And a lot of people were scared of Chief Foster. I was never scared of him, but when I got called in his office, a lot of times it was what I call getting called on the carpet for something I screwed up, and I was going to get my ass chewed out. But every time, rightfully so, that I got called on the carpet. But a lot of times it was just about cases and stuff. But anyway, Mr. Kearney called and he said, "Hey boy, I need you to come down here." I was like, "Oh, okay. Yes, sir." And so I go down, and there was another I'm not going to say any names on this one, and you'll see at the end why. And there was another detective that had got called in also. And so Kearney's sitting behind his desk, and I could see him in my mind's eye now. And y'all know, if you hadn't heard, he died, passed from COVID. And that breaks my heart. And God bless his family and his beautiful wife. And anyway, back to that day, I didn't know if I was in trouble. He said, "Come on, have a seat." And so I did. And the other detective was sitting with me. And he leaned back and he'd steeple his fingers up and he'd lean back in that big high leather back chair. He said, "Boys, we have a problem." I'm thinking, "Oh shit, what did I do?" And I said, "Okay." And he said, "We got a real problem and I need you to handle it." I said, "Okay." And I'm thinking maybe I'm off the hook here, right? And he said, but I didn't know. So he said, "We have a problem with complaints from citizens about they're going to our parks and they're going to the restrooms and they've seen men engage in sexual activities with each other." I'm like, "What the?" And he said they've been also causing damage to property at these parks, and the men's bathroom stalls, they're cutting holes in the wall in between the stalls so they can have sex through these holes. I'm like, oh God, here we go. And some more, I hate to say, I'm sure it's not just a Livingston Parish thing, but I've always seen that I was working some type of sex case. And I'm like, "So Mr. Kearney, tell me, what's the deal?" And he said, "In the last couple months, we received like 3 different complaints from 2 different places that one guy was going in to use the restroom. He'd been jogging, and he could hear 2 guys basically screwing in the stall. Like the whole partition was shaking, and there was some moaning and groaning going on. And they called it in, and by the time the uniformed deputies got there, the guys had left. And when they heard, the other person in the restroom. And he said, and it happened again, and it happened a 3rd time. He said, "We need to do something about it." I'm like, "Okay, what are we going to do?" And he said, "Well, I want you to go out there undercover and set them up." I'm like, "Okay, I'm kind of at a loss. I'm like, "How you want me to set them up?" He said, "I want one of y'all to go undercover, mic yourself up, and go in one of these stalls and see if somebody comes to solicit sex from you." I'm thinking, oh God, here we go. I can only imagine what kind of shit show this is going to be. He said, he gave me the locations, and he said, "Go out, do some reconnaissance, and come up with a plan, Woody, and figure out how to bust them." So I did. We went to the 3 different locations, and okay, so this is happening during the daytime, y'all, and like during business hours, not at nighttime or anything like that. The parks were closed or whatever. So we would go out around lunchtime, and we set off at a distance on this one park, and I'm watching the men's bathroom. And sure enough, around 11 o'clock, see a truck pull up. Guy doesn't get out. And then a few minutes later, another truck comes cruising by, and they came back cruising by. And saw the guy sitting in his truck. The guy gets out. He goes in. As soon as he goes in, the guy that was waiting in his truck gets out and goes in behind him. And they're in there for like 15, 20 minutes. And then they both come out and they leave and go their separate way. And I'm like, well, that's probably what they're talking about. So I go in and look at the stalls, and sure enough, there was, you open the door to the stall. It was a 2-stall bathroom. You had the urinals on the wall. Across from it, a 2-stall bathroom, and the door swinging inward, and you can lock it from the inside. When you open the door, you can see there is a hole in between. If you were sitting down on the toilet, it'd be almost at your face. We'll put it like that. Okay. And I'm like, holy shit, is this really a thing? You know, I mean, I'm not bashing people for, being heterosexual or gay or whatever. That's not my jam, right? But these people strangers having sex in a bathroom, that kind of threw me for a loop. So I went to the next one, and again, same type of thing. We saw numerous people coming and going on this one. This all on the same day during the afternoon time. And we saw males going and coming, driving up, going in separately, coming out, and what have you. You could only assume that they're doing something. Now, the problem with it is on busting them, I could have ran in the first time we saw 2 guys go in, but what are you going to do? Kick in the stall door? I don't know. You certainly have a reasonable expectation of privacy. If you go in, even it's a public restroom, you're going in to defecate or poo or whatever you want to call it. I tell my son, I'm reading the book, everybody poops, right? I get that. But if you go in the stall and you lock the door, I would think that you had a certain reasonable expectation of privacy. So you can't hit it like that. Go to the third one. The third one didn't even have the glory hole thing. That I'll explain that term in a minute. Third one didn't even have the hole and thing, but there were definitely men going in, watching. One person would show up, and then until another one would show up, and then one would go in, the other one would follow them in, and they had a reasonable amount of time to be engaged in some type of sexual activity, I would say. Of course, that's speculation till you can prove it. So I go and I look it up. I Googled it in men having sex in public bathrooms, and it came back glory hole. And that's what they call the hole in the wall where somebody cuts it out. And I don't know what kind of tools it is, because I know one of them was a plywood divider, if you will, but another one was like this hard plastic material. I don't know, composite, whatever you call it. So for you to go in there and do that, you're destroying public property, first of all. But then if you're going to cut a hole in the wall, there's a reason for it. And so glory hole is the term they use when males cut a hole in the wall in the bathroom stall, specifically to have sex, anonymous sex usually, with another male. All right. I'm educated now, right? I know what a glory hole is. Now I had to get the plan together. So what I decided to do was get a team of 3 detectives, and I'm not going to say their names, myself and 2 other detectives. And we had a meeting. I said, look, this is what we're going to do. We can get a body mic, and let me back up and digress. So here's how the glory hole works. When you go into a stall and you sit down on the toilet, you don't just say, hey, you want to have sex? There's a foot tap. You do a 3-foot tap. And the guys in the stall next to you is in there really taking a shit, and he's there to get a blowjob or whatever. He 3-foot taps back, right? So that's the signal, and they do it. So I tell the detectives what we're going to do. We're going to body mic up and send one of you in, and you go in, and if somebody comes to the stall next to you and they tap their foot 3 times, then you tap your foot back 3 times. And if they make, a forward gesture, like, talking to you about sex or put their penis through the wall or whatever, then we'll have a code word. Once the law is broken, and we'll have a code word, and you say that, and then when you say that code word, we'll know to come running in. All right. So game plan is developed. The biggest question is, who's going to be the one that gets mic'd up? And I'm like, damn. And so they were like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I said, why don't we draw straws for her to pick a number or something? So we actually ended up doing rock, paper, scissors. And guess what? I lost. But I told them, I said, I'm only doing one. I'll do the first one. And if we have to go to the next one, one of you are going to have to do the other one, right? So we go the next day. We park at an off-site location, and where I knew there was a Gloryhole, and I mic'd up, and then a mic on my back, and we came up with the code word. I said, Woody, what's it going to be? And I said, well, if the law is broken, I'll say it's hot in here, and that's y'all's code word to come in and arrest the person, because, kick the stall door, whatever you got to do, because the law's, I'm telling you, the law's been broken. I'm not going to be able to scream it out on the microphone or whatever, but if I say it's hot in here, you come running and arrest the person. So we do it. I put the mic on my back. They tape it up. I pull around. I'm in an unmarked vehicle. I pull around. There's already a truck waiting there, and I pull in and get out. It's a bright bluebird sky day. It was in the summertime, and there wasn't a lot of people around. I'm talking about this was like on Wednesday in the middle of the business day. There's not a lot of people in the park. I get out, I walk in, and I'm a little bit nervous, and I didn't look over at the guy in the truck beside me. It was parked a couple spots away, and it was a black male. And so I get out and I walk in. I go in the first stall, and I closed the door, and I locked it, and I sat down on the toilet. And sure enough, within a minute or two, I hear somebody come in. I hear the stall door open next to me, and I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, what's the hell's going to happen, right? Then I hear, and I'm like, oh shit, here we go. So I tapped back, and I heard a voice say, hey. And I said, hey. No law broken there, right? And in a public restroom, even though we're in our stalls. Then the next thing I know, before I could say anything else or think anything else, now I got this hole just to my left. I was in the first stall, and the hole's to my left. Next thing I know, I see this big black anaconda come through the wall. All right, a penis, y'all, and it was erect. And I gave y'all the warning ahead of time. It was erect, and it was, for a lack of a better description, it was jumping up and down with what I could only assume was the guy's heartbeat, right? It was throbbing, and he's like, hey, you want to suck it? Suck it, man, suck it. And I was like, it's hot in here. It's hot in here. It's hot in here, right? And he's like, well, yeah, it's hot in here, but go, why don't you give it a suck? I'm like, it's hot in here. And so here they come. Those two detectives come running in, and I told them I was going to be in the first stall. They kicked the door in the second stall, pulled the guy out, his erect penis and everything, and they put him against the wall and tell him to pull his pants up and cuff him and stuff him. And we get a uniformed patrol guy to come over and pick him up and take him to the jail. We'll worry about him. We'll book him later, right? But hey, this is a serious felony charge, obscenity at the very worst. I mean, at the very least, which, you get convicted of that, you have to register as a sex offender, and your life is screwed for the rest of your life. Everywhere you go to live, you have to mail out the notices. You got to, you listed as a sex offender on the Louisiana Sex Offender Registry. It's just bad shit. Okay. So great arrest. Chief Foster's got to be happy about that one, right? So we leave that location. We go to the next one. But when we're riding to the next one, they're laughing at me the whole time. And they were like, oh, did you see how big that thing was? And hey, you want to suck it, Woody? You want to suck it? Oh, Woody, why don't you just put it in your mouth and suck it? And I'm like, fuck you. I'm never going to live this down. This is after the Cajun Queen stuff from previous episodes, right? And so, yeah, they're like, come on, suck it, Cajun Queen. And I'm like, okay, motherfuckers. So one, we'll say the younger one, detective, was really riding my ass. Now we're friends, right? And known each other forever and everything, put our lives in each other's hands every day and all that kind of stuff, work cases together. But now, nobody can ride a cop like another cop, and not riding in a sexual term, y'all. I mean, like riding and joking and razz them and haze them and everything else. But I was catching it nonstop. So we get out the second stage and location, and I'm like, fuck you. I'm not doing it this time. And this location was the one that did not have, we cruised to the first one, the second one that had the Gloryhole. This one, there was nobody there. We went to, it's like 12:30 by this time. We went to the third location that did not have the Gloryhole, and there was nobody there. I said, well, we go off. I said, I'm not doing it. Fuck that. You're doing it this one. And I'm not going to say his name. And he's like, I guess it's only fair. And I was a little bit pissed off, but not really pissed off. But he was like, if I do it, are you going to suck it? And I was like, fuck you. Put the microphone on, go in, right? So he mic'd him up, and he went in the undercover car and he pulled up. But on this park, y'all, there was one way in, it's a big circle around, and one way out. There's no two-way traffic. But there were cars parked intermittently throughout the park, if you will. But you don't know what they're parking there. They could be eating their lunch or doing whatever. So we send them in undercover. Well, of course, we all had undercover vehicles, but when we made the first pass through, and we send them in the unmarked undercover hoopty-mobile is what we call it. And he goes in, he parks, and man, as soon as he parks, one of the guys, and it was a white Volvo station wagon, I'll never forget it. Had been parked at the front entrance of the park where they could see when the vehicles turn in and come around. He followed him. He immediately follows him around to the bathroom. The detective goes in, and he didn't realize this guy was this close. And the detective goes in to the restroom. This white Volvo station wagon comes in, skidding in sideways like Bo and Luke do. Like he's in a hurry. Not that bad, y'all, but he came in there really fast and parked catty corner or whatever, and almost ran into this white male. Gets out, an older gentleman in a business suit, okay, and tie. And he goes in the bathroom. Well, the detective had gone in and he went to the first urinal not because of the plan, but because he had to urinate. So he's actually urinating when this guy comes into the bathroom, and the guy comes straight over to him and looks down on the detective while he's urinating and says, "Hey, that's nice, man. That's nice." And the detective's like, he didn't mean to get caught in a situation. He's like, oh, and so you can hear him zipping and stuff up. And the guy's like, "No, you don't have to put it up, baby. You don't have to put it up." And he said, I want to see it. Let me touch it. Let me suck on it for you. And he's like, "Oh, no." He said, it's hot in here. And my detective I was with was like, "Let's go." I said, "Nope. Let's let him wait a minute." I don't think I heard it correctly. And so you get, the guy's proposition totally. He's like, no, I told you don't have to put up. Look, I'll take mine out. And you could hear the pants unzip and you could hear him masturbating and the detective's going, it's hiding here. It's hiding here. And my buddy's going, man, Woody, we got to go. I said, nope, you give it a second. And he's like, it's hiding here. And I said, all right, let's go. So we go in. And you still hear him going, it's hiding here. It's hiding here. We enter the bathroom. And you enter the bathroom, 2 stalls on the left, 2 urinals on the right, and there's a dead space on the brick wall in the back. The detective has his back against the wall. The guy in the suit is in front of him with his pants down, masturbating on him. And I was like, holy shit. So we grab him, slam him against the wall, Pat frisked him down, had him pull his own pants up, and then handcuffed him, right? And say, you're under arrest. Actually, by waiting a second, I got a better charge because it would have been just obscenity had he been masturbating. But the very fact that he was masturbating and he actually touched the detective with his penis made it a sexual battery charge, which is even better. And look, so we cuffed him up, and that detective was so fucking mad at me. And I mean, he was like fighting mad. He was red in the face. He said, you son of a bitch. Yeah. I said, it's hiding here. It's hiding here. I said, yeah, but, you asked me that, do I want to suck it again? That was my way of getting the back at him. I probably shouldn't have done it. But so we get another unit, take the guy to jail. Go to jail, do the paperwork and everything. And hey, my buddy won't even talk to me. I mean, he's got the real case of the red ass. But hey, we got a better charge now because he actually touched him with his penis. And he said, and I was like, man, fuck, why didn't you pull your pistol and arrest him? And he said, because I would have had to slide down in front of him when he's on top of me masturbating and get my pistol out of my ankle holster. And he said, I wasn't going to do that. And he said, he called me everything but a child of God, and rightfully so. But, detectives getting back at detectives. I thought it was pretty funny until I got back to my office and the phone rings and I answer it. Detective Overton, he said, come down to my office. It was Chief Foster. I was like, oh, fuck. And this time there was no doubt I was getting called on the red carpet. So I took that long walk down that staircase, walked down the hallway. I walk in, and Miss Jackie Lockhart was his secretary, and she looked at me, and she had his outer office, his desk in the old courthouse, and she looked at me and she just started shaking her head. It's like, she knew, evidently she had heard what had gone on, and she was shaking her head like, oh, your ass is in a crack this time. So I go in, and Mr. Kearney said, shut the door. And I shut the door, and he said, come here. And I went to sit down. He said, no, don't sit down. He said, what in the fuck were you doing? I said, what are you talking about, Mr. Kearney? He said, you know what I'm talking about? I mean, you delayed on going in when he gave the code word, and why did you do that? And I told him, be honest with you, Mr. Kearney, because I don't lie to you, you know that. I said I was a little pissed off on the first time when they kept razzing me about, or he kept razzing me about, you want to suck it? Come on, man, suck it. And he kept asking me, what are you going to suck it, et cetera. I said, you know what? I should have been a bigger person. I should have gone in when I've heard the first, it's hiding here. He said, you damn right you should have. He could have been armed and and y'all, he's 100,000% correct. I should have done it, and shouldn't have waited, but it was funny as fuck. And I'm still laughing about it to this day. Other than the fact that Mr. Kearney chewed my ass up and down, and it was like, I mean, he was furious. And then when he got done, he didn't suspend me or anything like that. When he got, he said, boy, I expect better of you than that. I get that he was razzing you, and, I get why you did what you did, and you thought it was funny. I said, yes, sir, I did. And then he laughed, and he started laughing. He said, it is kind of funny. He said, but I bet you won't ever ask you, do you want to suck it again? So That's it.
This season, a new hot deal has arrived at Metro. $25 a line for 4 lines with all the data you need and 4 free Samsung Galaxy A15 5G phones. Getting Metro's best deals is easy. No ID required, no activation fees. Get a new number or keep your own. It's up to you. That's 4 lines for $25 a line, plus 4 free phones. Visit a store or go online today. Only at Metro by T-Mobile.
When you join Metro Plus Tax. For a limited time and subject to change. Max 1 offer per account.
All right, let's talk about feeling our best without the hassle. You know those wellness trends that sound great but are impossible to stick with? Like taking apple cider vinegar shots. Yeah, no thanks. That's why I love Goli Nutrition. They make wellness simple, delicious, and effective with their chewable gummies packed with powerful ingredients. Apple cider vinegar has been used for centuries as a traditional remedy for digestion and gut health. And Goli's apple cider vinegar gummies make it easy to add to your routine. And when life gets stressful, the ashwagandha gummies help me stay cool, calm, and collected. No wonder they're Goli's #1 bestseller. Plus, all Goli gummies are vegan, gluten-free, and made with high-quality ingredients you can trust. Join millions of happy customers and see why Goli is the #1 most sold item in U.S. retail across all vitamins, minerals, and supplements. Goli is changing the wellness game. Head to Goli.com now and get America's #1 ashwagandha and apple cider vinegar gummies at an exclusive 42% off. Give them a try risk-free, backed by our money-back guarantee. Don't wait. Visit Goli.com today.
It was a short one. I know it was dirty, but I just want to give y'all something this week. Now, this is my busiest week of the year. We got the Crew Bash. We got the VIP event Friday night, February 4th this week, and the Crew Bash is Saturday night. So, I got Courtney Coco's case in Alexandria. I'm going to be in court for on Monday. So, and we're in the middle of all this transition. And so everything is being redone and brand new. I just wanted to drop y'all a quick little episode. Hopefully I made you laugh. I just was thinking about it last night, and how can I give you a little something without not giving you anything? So hope you enjoyed it, and I'll conclude this episode of Gloryhole. Now, we'll talk to you about the Crew Bash in Lopa. Really important, y'all. Friday night, the VIP event is at the Basin. You can go online because we opened up a few more ticket sales for it. I don't know when you're hearing this if they'll be there or not. Probably not. But if you want to come Friday night, it's from 7 o'clock until 2 o'clock till they kick us out. Private event. Nobody else will be allowed in but VIPs. It's $20. Okay. Now, we sold out the original allotment of VIPs, which included the VIP event and the early entry into the show Saturday nights. But because it's such a big venue, we added a few more. And I had a lot of lifers that were saying, hey, Woody, I can't make it Saturday night, but I'd like to come Friday night to the VIP event. So those are $20 a piece on eventbrite.com. Check and see if they're still there. If you want to come, this is what's going to happen. I'm going to show up. I'm going to sign autographs, take pictures with everybody, and spend my time with you, right? It's not like at the live on Saturday night. If you're in the crowd, certainly when I get done with my show and Chase Taliban takes the stage, I'm going to be up there signing autographs and taking pictures as long as I can, but I won't get to spend as much time as I will with you on Friday night. But Friday night, I'm going to take my time with every single person that's there. That's why we limit the number. And then we're going to have a DJ because we have Chase Tyler live Saturday night. And once I get done doing the pictures and the autographs and all that, I am right there in the middle of the crowd with you all night long. We're going to drink, we're going to party, we're going to dance, we're going to have a good time. And so it really is a VIP experience. But y'all are very important people to me anyway, if you can make it or you can't. But last year we did it. We have lifers coming in from all over the United States for this, right? We sold out the Hilton already downtown just on that alone. So last year we did it unannounced just for the people that were coming in from out of town, and they had a room for 4 hours at another place, and it was a great success. And I got to sign autographs, and then we threw down, but only for 4 hours. This time you get it for the whole night. until they kick us out, and we'll probably stumble back to the hotel together. Or if you need an Uber, we'll get you one home, whatever. But that same night, only that night, we're going to have Captain Calvin Duvall, Duvall's Cajun Charters, had a custom built fishing rod donated to him by one of his sponsors for his charter company. Captain Duvall then went out and spent his own money on a high dollar fishing reel, the same ones he uses on his charter boat. And I'm telling you, it's top of line, first class, y'all. And then he even went further and spent the money on he spooled it himself with the fishing line. And that fishing line, if you don't know anything about braided fishing line, it's expensive. So it's like a $700 deal. At the VIP, we're going to sell tickets for $1 a piece for a chance to win that custom built fishing rod and the reel that Captain Duvall put on it. And it's totally rigged up to fish. So you have to be there for that to win that one. $1 a piece, and we'll announce the winner at the end of the night, and the poll will be there and they'll get it. But Lopa raffle, y'all, last year we raised $8,000 for them, and we had Captain Duvall's Cajun Charters donated a fishing trip, guided fishing trip with me. Real Life, Real Crime donated the hotel room at the marina for the winner. Jim Chapman of Local Leaders Podcast donated $600 Yeti ice chest for the winner to take their fish home in. And then Miss Tiffany Seacard with Home Key Mortgage donated another Yeti ice chest, which was a separate drawing. Now this year, we've taken that through the roof, and y'all have heard my episodes already on it. McLaurin Whitetail Adventures donated a 4-day guided turkey hunt and a 4-day guided whitetail hunt. That's like $16,000 alone, y'all, for those two. Then Jim Chapman of Local Leaders Podcast donated a full podcast. So like he said, that's the production and the promotion across all the social media and everything else, and the business owner getting to tell their story, right? When Jim Chapman puts the human face on business owners, and he's had phenomenal success. Jim has donated that this year through Local Leaders, and it's full service. And even if you win that and you don't own a business, you know someone who owns a business and they can get that benefit. And Miss Tiffany Seacard has stepped up again through Home Key Mortgage and added another Yeti ice chest to the drawing. Then, Miss Peg Courtney with Adele Spa has donated a $500 gift certificate. Susan has donated this humongous quilt, and y'all go look it up on social media. I'm gonna forget somebody has donated the quilt. The Southern Boutique out of Livingston has donated a total of $400 worth of prizes. Grainworks has donated a custom built charcuterie board. There'll never be in another one like it in the history of the world. And again, Captain Duvall's Cajun Charters donated another guided fishing trip out of Delacroix. Y'all, it's a plethora of prizes. And if I've left anybody out, then I apologize. But go look on our social media. It's $10. It's $15 for one ticket, and it's $10 if you get 10 tickets. And it's all electronic now. You go to any of our social media and you see the QR code, scan it, put in your information. It's all totally secure. You can submit your payment, and then your name and the amount of tickets you bought is entered into the computer system that we're using for the drawing. And so there's no physical tickets that you have to worry about. You don't have to be present to win. And live on stage at the Crew Bash, we're going to get the sponsors up there, and we're going to have Miss Lori Steele with LOPA, Louisiana Organ Procurement Agency, draw for the winner. And then we will present the check of however much we've raised through these donations and through y'all buying the raffle tickets. We'll present that to LOPA. And that's the Louisiana Organ Procurement Agency, y'all, and they save lives every day. It's a nonprofit. It's my baby. So look it up if you would and buy a ticket. I mean, you get for $15 a chance to win over $20,000 in prizes. If you buy 10 tickets, you get 10 chances. You might win all the prizes. I mean, who knows? The luck of the draw. But it's important, and I appreciate y'all for doing that and share that. And if you know somebody that likes to hunt or fish or likes a quilt or has a business that wants a chance of winning the podcast or wants a Yeti ice chest or a custom-made charcuterie board or whatever, let them know. All 100% of this goes to LOPA, y'all. 100% of the proceeds go to LOPA. And these people have given generously, donated generously these prizes. Let's blow it up for LOPA. Let's, help save lives. Okay. Last time you'll hear it this year, Crew Bash tickets are on sale at eventbrite.com. It's on the Real Life, Real Crime 3rd Annual Crew Bash. That night, Saturday, February 5th, is my 52nd birthday. More importantly, it's the 3rd birthday of Real Life, Real Crime, the podcast. And y'all, I love all you lifers. Thank you so much. We're growing phenomenally. And it's just blowing up like never before. And I appreciate each and every one of you. Patreon and convicts, I said it once, I said it a million times. Thank you so much. The show wouldn't run without you. Thank you for following us. I will be releasing, I promise you this, within the next 2 weeks, I will be releasing a never before heard full Patreon convict episode to put up in y'all's balls. Okay. I'm a little bit behind on that, but I'll catch up on it. But thank you for your support. Can't be a patron member or a convict. I get that. And I love you just as much. Y'all go download the Real Life, Real Crime community app from the App Store for free. It has everything that's Real Life, Real Crime across all my social media pages put into one spot. Doesn't get censored by anybody but me. That's priceless in itself, right? Go there, but it has so much more than what you get. If you like Real Life, Real Crime, go download it. Just check it out. But back to the Basin, February 5th. We're celebrating my birthday, Real Life, Real Crime's birthday. A lot of new things that are about to happen. I'm going to be announcing at that show. Then we're doing the LOPA drawing, and I'm going to do a never before live adult podcast, and it's going to be crowd interactive. If you made the other 2 crew bashes, you know what I'm talking about, but this one's going to be even more so. I got something special planned for y'all. So you get your tickets at eventbrite.com. That also will be at the Basin. Oh, big thing. We changed from the Texas Club to the Basin for a multitude of reasons, but the Basin ultimately is going to be a much better event place for us. So that's where it's going to be at, y'all, both nights. The VIP is going to be at the Basin, and then the 3rd Annual Crew Bash will be at the Basin on Saturday night. So it's no longer at the Texas Club. And come out, we're going to rock it. Life from all over the United States will be there. I can't wait. Stoked. So excited. I'm so excited about everything Real Life, Real Crime. And I can't wait till next week when you get to hear all the new good stuff and be a hero. If you're an organ donor, if you're a lifer from Okinawa, Japan, and you don't have to be from Louisiana, you want to sign up to be an organ donor, go to lopa.org, and it takes like 2 minutes, y'all. Fill it out, give the gift of life, be a hero. And I'm Woody Overton, your host of Real Life, Real Crime, the podcast. Until next time or ever, don't let me catch you down on Murder Bayou. Peace. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You got a right to an attorney prior to and during any question. If you can't afford one, the court will appoint one for you. Do you understand your rights?
When the wolf is at your door, you run into over, that's for sure. You already knows all about you.
This season, a new hot deal has arrived at Metro. $25 a line for 4 lines with all the data you need and 4 free Samsung Galaxy A15 5G phones. Getting Metro's best deals is easy. No ID required, no activation fees. Get a new number or keep your own. It's up to you. That's 4 lines for $25 a line, plus 4 free phones. Visit a store or go online today. Only at Metro by T-Mobile.
When you join Metro Plus Tax. For limited time and subject to change. Max 1 offer per account.